Hi, I'm Jack Kernick with the Whalers and the DHL, and I'm going to teach you today how to tape up your stick. The reason you tape your stick is for better grip at the top of the stick right here on the shaft, and to protect your blade right here, to keep it from shattering, cracking, and just to keep it nice and fresh and intact, whether on the ice or out on the street. All you need to tape up your stick is, of course, this beauty right here. Maybe a pair of scissors or a box cutter or anything like that. A pocket knife will do too. And I have a roll of Renfrew hockey stick tape, made in Canada, so you know it's a gem. And what you'll need to do to get this is you can order it anywhere on Amazon. You can go to your local sporting goods store. You can go to your Modell's or your Dick's, wherever you want to go. But this stuff right here, I recommend over anything like packaging tape or anything like that I've seen other players attempt to use. Because this stuff gives you good grip. It's a little fabric material on the top. And it holds up a stick pretty well. So step one would be to take your roll out of its packaging here. I have some plastic wrap. Take it out of there. And what you'll want to do is, once you get it off, the oils on your fingertips will neutralize the stickiness and the glue part that's on your tape. So what you'll want to do is cut off just the snip that you used to crack off your roll of tape here. So you see we can snip that off. It might take you a couple tries. There we go, nice and easy. Very simple. Try to cut a straight line. That's better. And if it comes out jagged or whatever, it doesn't really matter. The end product is going to look quite nice though once you do this. So now once you got your stick here, you can start it wherever. So yeah, so cut it off here. If it comes out jagged or straight, again, don't worry about it. It's going to look pretty nice. Typical rule I've heard in some hockey leagues is not to tape it past the label. This may not apply to every street hockey league. There's no definite rule in the DHL. So tape it to where your hands typically will be. When you're playing hockey, usually your hand's going to be about that much, a couple inches just from the top of the shaft here. Right above the beginning of the label here, you see this stripe. That's usually where you'll place your hands, or maybe right like here, right at the beginning of the stripe. For a better hold, you have the option of taping it from bottom to top or top to bottom. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to start all the way at the top. All right, it's better to start up here, leave a little bit of your tip here, the shaft, and all you gotta do, pretty simple stuff, you just begin rolling. And you roll this right around, make sure it gets nice and tight on your stick. It looks better with a more even roll. And once you start doing this, you'll pick up the skill over time. It's really not that hard. And try not to leave any sort of exposed wood or exposed plastic, whichever kind of stick you're going to use, because that'll help even better with your grip, not to leave any sort of exposed material of the shaft here. So you see, it doesn't take that long to do the handle here. We're just going to keep rolling down. Nice and easy. Take your time, of course, there's no rush. Get nice and easy. And of course, if you don't get it the first time, or you want to redo the pattern, you want to redo the roll, go right ahead and you can snip it off. Take your box cutter or scissors or whatever you need to go right up the seam. Okay, we're going to stop right about there. And that looks pretty good. One complete roll. Okay, now we're going to stop here actually. So now you're going to take your scissors, very simple stuff. You can roll a little bit out to make sure you have a tab for the next part of the stick that you're going to roll. And we're just going to snip that right off. Put your tape down here. Get that nice and flat and applied, and here you go. Should come out something like this, which is actually not a pretty bad tape job. Its pattern's a little uneven, and of course, if you need to go back over and tape it twice, you can do that as well. Not a bad idea. But this is how you do your grip. Pretty simple stuff. So after you do your grip on the stick, now what you got to do is the blade. Now for some people the blade's a little bit more tricky, but again, you know, once you start doing it a little bit more and more over time, Should be good. So you're going to hear a lot of people say they like to do it heel to toe or toe to heel. Doesn't really make a difference. It's really based on your preference. I prefer to do it toe to heel because you'll see the tape, once you put it on, you'll see kind of like on the grip, you'll see the edge of the tape either goes up or it goes down. When you do it toe to heel, the tape is going to go, the edges of the tape is going to go this way. It doesn't really affect your shot. So we're going to do it toe to heel style here. And same deal. All you got to do is wrap it up and you're good to go. So here, actually I'm going to flip this here. And it doesn't really matter where you start. So you have a couple inches open for the toe. There we go, it's nice and secure. Darn it. Reach the wrinkly part sometime. Happens. There we go. Just take your time again. Nice and slow. Right here. There we go. That's better. Alright. Yeah, this is trickier than the grip. Once you get the hang of it, not that bad. There we go. Bada bing, bada bam. Nice and easy. And you can do this the whole way down. Try to get it as flat as possible. I know sometimes it's a little bit hard to do that. But it really does make a difference with the end product. Oop. Slipped here. There we go. And just like that, you keep it going. Takes a little bit of time. So anyway, we kind of already went over why you tape your stick. And it's definitely recommended to do. It's a great idea. If you're playing on ice, every player typically has their stick wrapped. Not only for grip at the top of the shaft, but also to keep your blade intact. Also gives you a good idea of where your sweet spot on the blade is. Again, this varies with stick and brand and what material your stick's made out of, and you know, fiberglass blade over wood blade. We got a little bubble right there we can tape over. Looking good. That looks pretty good actually. So we'll finish off with this last wrap. And that is a solid tape job. I'm not gonna lie. So it's looking pretty good. And again, you could go as far down or up, or depending on how your shot is typically, will depend on where you'll tape your stick up to. So that's why it's a good idea if you have any film with up-close shots or anything like that. Some people do. It's a good idea to check back, look at where your shots are typically on the stick. Me personally, I usually shoot right in the middle towards the heel. And one last important detail is once you're ready to cut the tape, once you're done wrapping here, you want to get a little tab, which is just enough to cover the bottom part right here on the stick. Because that way, you'll cover the entire bottom piece of your stick that you typically shoot from, including your sweet spot. So you see it's starting to ship a little bit right here. It's because this part was not taped last time we used it. And it's all right, it happens. Just paint it over if you really wanted to. But this will keep the stick intact, keep it nice and locked up, and really gets good use out of your stick. Alright, so that does it. Really nothing else to go over. You see we have a pretty finely taped up stick. This thing is ready for action. We are ready to go with this one. If you have any questions, feel free to email us with the DHL email. John, what's the DHL email?
The DHL email, Jack, is jdownsdhl@gmail.com.
jdownsdhl@gmail.com. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, come check us out. Also be sure to like and subscribe this video if you're interested in more content from the DHL. I'm Jack Karnick with the Whalers. This has been another outtake with the DHL.